Hey people, Injured here, 53, Khatrin Purification Plant, blue team. Panzerbatallion is a force commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs alongside. Sage is an Inquisitor, offensive hero with awesome control abilities, begins in melee combat but can get ranged weapons, little bit of support about her too, and a fancy hat. Rounding us off is BK as a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fights in melee combat, begins with a refractor shield, can shoot his own fellas in the head. This is Deathcore of Krieg DLC. Red team, the Great Cornholio is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of game manipulation and control abilities, powerful offense too, begins in melee combats. Alongside theKILLCHAIN is a Mekboy, teleporting hero that fights range combat, puts us a good damage, can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair. He's a useful little orc. And rounding us off is Lomors as a Warlock, melee hero that can leap into combat with some powerful spells, giving him support, disruption and offense. Khatrin then, east side looks like it is Sorcerer versus Lord Commissar. We've seen games won and lost on this map because of this east side falling and the mid player not really helping too much. Force Guardsmen getting some special attacks off. Red team looking pretty vicious in terms of the heroes. So much crap from the Sorcerer, Mekboy and Warlock to deal with, especially as the game goes on. Early game, Mekboy can be very strong. You can have that guy teleporting, healing and suppressing all in tier 1 with his war gear. Force Guardsmen going down early. Some Imperial Guard trying to come in from the flank, getting a decent stomp, but the Sentinel is taking a lot of damage. Blue team, of course, with these two melee brawlers who have some strong support, and the Inquisitor in between with her Hallow to stun land abilities. Forced off there though. Sentinel got very, very low. These guys can now edge forward. And you want to do that early because you can get that very early power bash. There's a little gen down or something with the early push because setup teams aren't going to be on the field straight away. But I imagine we'll start seeing them. Here we go. Devastators on the way for Panzerbatallion. Cornholio getting his havocs up pretty damn early, as you'd expect against Imperial Guard. Lord Commissar does have some tools to use, can use his Basilisk Flare to shut down ranged weapons, or rather really reduce their effectiveness, and is getting a power bash. But the Havoc should be able to push forward and get him out of there. But in the meantime, they took a node. You're not going to get that decap, Mr. Sentinel, don't even try it. Red team pushing through, getting on blue team's natural VP. Look at this. It's Shooter Boys doing that. BK with Catechins on the way to help disrupt those Havocs. We have Rangers doing their thing for Lomors. Triple Dire Avengers too. That's a lot of firepower. Looks like he's maybe trying to pour some onto the Force Commander there to get him off the field. Was he revived or did he repurchase? I think he repurchased. We have the Holy Brazier up for the Inquisitor, but she's now off the field. Sluggers chasing the Sentinel. That's not a good fight for you lads. They should be okay now. Getting away with two models. I think the las guns aren't going to have what it takes to take him down in retreat. Death Gun doing its thing for the Mekboy. Teleporting, suppressing, setup hero. And he will teleport and stay set up, but you can't always predict. Well, you can. He usually faces the way you teleported when he lands. Tactical Marines doing their 50% faster capping thing on the VPs. Showing off to the Inquisitor. Warlock runs away, but nope, did not get a decap. 361, 500 early on. Big VP lead building up. Early game for red team here. Getting this cap was pretty good for their VPs, and they took a while to get it back, the old blue team over there. Some Tzeentch worship, infiltrating the Sorcerer stuff, but he's pushing on in. Lord Commissar doing some work here. Has that power sword. The damage of this thing is always surprising. Mainly because his animations seem to be not well synced up with when damage occurs on the models. It's like after he goes through his attack animation, look, that's when the hit goes in. You'd expect it a little bit earlier, but he just wrecked some heads then. Look at that. 2 Havocs down. I think that was his pistol getting that shot. Raptors on the field now for Cornholio, pushed back to the power. And we have Catechins in play. They are going to be a big threat to those Raptors in melee. These guys have power melee weapons. And as someone pointed out on a recent video, they do actually have a power weapon I think in a tabletop, I guess, the Devil's Claw, that big knife, I did not know it counted as a power weapon. More Khatachins here for Sage, but just dropped the Sentinel. 351 to 500. Red team still have not dropped a single victory point off their counter. Grenades going in on the Devastators. That would have wiped them if they didn't retreat. We get a retreat there. Shurikens used to good effect. Can it turn in time though? Looks like it can. Khatachins must have used their grenade launcher already. They did not fire it off there. So Sage doing relatively well to force the Orks off, but now finds themselves in a 2v1 and can't really hold. Inquisitor stealing some Orky generators though. Has her Rosarius up. 351 to 500 still on the VPs. Finishes the cap, but might go down on retreat. Also noted it. Slugger's getting in there, but looks like she's going to get away. Yes, she gets away. East side still. Lots of pressure on Cornholio's power. We do have a teleporting and flame sword wielding sorcerer here. Coruscating flame on himself to teleport in there. Gets stomped though. Needs some support now. We have aspiring champion heretics worshipping to bring those havocs up under infiltration. Raptors and CSM healing up. Can they get the node down again? Yes, they can. Well played, BK. Sage goes tier 2, as does the kill chain. What's going on west side? Warlock, what's he been up to? No war gear. Bunch of XP though. Runs into the Force Commander, who also has a bunch of XP. Didn't really want to fight him. Webway up in the front lines there. That one can heal. Each of the Eldar heroes' webways have different abilities. The Warlock's heals over time, which is pretty powerful. Often you'll see them put near the base to stack that healing with the base aura. I believe they're trying to change that, or it was changed already so that it doesn't stack. Uh-oh, those guys tried to throw a grenade. Got too close to shotguns, fellas. Here comes a Warlock. Disruptor on that little blob of Khatachins would be nasty, but now they're in retreat. There's one. Painful. Really strong early game ability. Doesn't scale the best, but he has other very nasty things to spend his energy on late game. Tying up these guardsmen. Need to run away. There we go. Uncapped west side here. East side, we still see some pressure on the minimap there from BK. He has that contested power too. Force Commander looking for the webways. Webways are infiltrated, if you were wondering, so the Force Commander has to get very close to see it. There he goes. He's found it. And has an assault squad on the field too. Jump troops that's disrupt when they land. Great tool to use, obviously, against a setup team. And there's no Banshees there to counter-initiate. There is the Warlock himself, of course, who could do some nasty things with the Witchblade of Kurnus, or just the Merciless Witchblade. These heretics, I should say, taking shots. Lord Commissar was taken down, but Cornholio is taking losses over here. Raptors down to 2 models. CSM down to 2 models, trying to stand in this crater, which I think was light cover. I didn't quite notice in time before they retreated. Still a decent VP lead for red, but it is a 2v1 now for blue. War truck on the field. Great choice on this map. Relatively open for vehicles. It's a bunch of stuff for them to break in the middle, and then it's nice and open. Chimera on the field for Sage. Much like the war truck, it is a support vehicle. The Chimera differs in that units inside can shoot those little turrets on top. There's no units inside right now though. Good disruption on almost like 2 entire armies there from the Khatachins. It is a 2v1 fight though. Not sure where that Force Commander is. Look at this though from the Inquisitor with Holy Pyre and that Hell Fury Strike with some area denial, or maybe not. The Orks are just standing in it here. Did he just drop some shooters? He did just drop some shooters, the kill chain. I guess maybe he thought he could stand there and just reinforce off the war truck, but it didn't quite work out for him. Well played. Well played, Sage. Held off these 2 armies here and buying time for the Force Commander to get back into the field. He's taking his time though. Devastators do have a las cannon, which will make short work of the war truck if they can get some hits. Wraith Guard now on the field for Lomors. Yeah, Wraith Cannons will happily blow apart everything. They will also suppress infantry and have an AoE attack. It does do friendly fire, so you've got to be careful. Uh-oh. What did I say about Witchblade of Kurnus? That was the ethereal slash. Couldn't stay on the field too long though. Cloak of Shadows also up, which is nasty. 351, 420 assault squad jumping in, trying to force the issue and allow the blue team to push up behind them, but they didn't really want to fight those sluggers, it looks like. I would have kept them in play, I think. Force Commander coming in here, support of the Tactical Marines, I think it would have been okay. Everything's okay until it takes a volley from the Wraith Guard though, but they are being forced off. Catachin's forcing melee combat on them. That's their big weakness, can't really hang in melee combat with anything. I wonder who wins in melee, Wraith Guard versus Guardsmen. Force Commander getting stuck into some Dire Avengers there. Level 3 has been picking off models. Nice grenade, has Artificer armor. Did they drop the Sergeant? They did drop the Sergeant. Standing firm in the middle here is Sage. Has held this entire time. Now has some Stormtroopers on the field. Anti-armor kit is up and takes down, or at least helps take down, that war truck there. Whirlwind also for Panzer Battalion, which does have the anti-vehicle hunter-killer missile with some surprising range and damage. You can't discount that thing. I think it's got a relatively long cooldown. East side is getting completely decapped, this power now. We have a Chaos Dreadnought on the field. The kill chain now looking very depleted, has struggled against Sage in the last few fights. Sorcerer up to level 2, has the Sigil of the Rift, which can cause huge problems. Chimera also for BK. Heavy Weapon Squad is in retreat, it did not duck inside of the Chimera. Some big disruption I just saw there. Probably the Warlock doing his thing. He's got the Heart of Darkness. Gives him that awesome buff. Enhance would be good on those Wraith Guard. Assault Squad can now type those shooters. Yes, they can. Nobody can really break through the middle here. It might be the blue team to do so. Gonna try and steal this power, I think. And take down the Webway, the second one to go down, and they give you a big chunk of XP. And also some red. Yeah, 12 red. Leveling up those Assault Marines. Cornholio able to push through to BK's power for the first time that I've seen. This Dreadnought not really under much threat. Oh, now it is. Lascannon in play from the Heavy Weapon Squad. He's trying to, I was going to say, he's trying to get it into melee with the Lascannon, I think, but he's able to warp it to safety. That's a global ability of the Sorcerer. Very useful it is. Nob Squad on the way for the kill chain. The Mekboy is down. Blue team have the west side. Should have been on this wreck point, I think. Where did they go? They're just kind of chilling out in the mid. I think they should have been a little bit more aggressive, try and got a power bash there. Now they have to fight a Nob Squad. They did steal the power in the mid though. There we go. Node it up and let that power flow in. Sage level 3. There's that Holy Pyre. Does some damage over time. Also debuffs the units inside it, I believe. But you don't get a red debuff circle for it. I believe it was in the game at some point, but there was some kind of issue and they had to remove it. 351 to 300. VP is now much closer. Blue team taking the lead. Nob Squad popping off their frenzy, gives them suppression immunity and 75% damage resistance. Your only hope at that point really is disrupting them, but they did deal with them decently well there. Inquisitor can do a lot of nasty things to a Nob Squad with crippling volley from her crossbow bolt pistol and also excruciators or purgatus. Lots of stuff she can do. The kill chain down to just 2 units now. 351, 276 on the VPs. Havocs, I think, teleported into play there by the Sorcerer with an auto cannon. We're getting charged down though by the Sentinel, and blue team did not let him set up that auto cannon there. Vanguard veterans on the field. Red team are reeling here. Need to get it together. Push the mid in big numbers, I think. Look at the myriad things they have to deal with. Vehicles, powerful infantry, a jump squad, Nob Squad in play here for the kill chain. Don't have their Nob leader, but they do have Mina and Greener for the frenzy, as we saw earlier. These guys can tear apart anything in the game if you support them decently well. Down goes that Chimera. Didn't last long. There's the Frenzy. I don't think Frenzy improves their damage anymore as it used to. Double cap now for blue, getting a decap on red teams. Naturally, they are taking it back, but look at this. BK with a whirlwind in support and some Stone Guard veterans now helping out. Warlock knocked over, might go down if he's not careful. Puts the Cloak of Shadows up, but it's not enough, I don't think. Yes, it is. 15 hit points. Gets away. That's a Rocks. That could be really nasty. Global nuke of the Orks from the kill chain. The vehicle's able to get away. Actually avoided pretty decently by the blue team. Only the last cannon there a casualty. And that was kind of after the fact. Nob squad being dealt with some nice disruption from the whirlwind. We also have Khatrin there to both disrupt and suppress them. Was that the shotgun blast there? I saw them lose some energy. They're actually forcing melee combat on the Nob squad there. Nobs are heavy infantry, so power weapons will do a lot of damage. There's a Frenzy, though. They continue to just march forward. 351 to 190. Red team's still in this, certainly. We have a Terminator Force Commander now with the Assault Cannon in play. Massive amounts of single target piercing DPS. Might finish off those sluggers, and in fact does. Just used his teleport there. Also has a Power Fist, which is pretty damn useful. Does as much damage as the Power Fist he can get without Terminator armor as well, I think. Like 85 DPS or so. The kill chain getting some more knobs, but that's all he's got. After losing those sluggers, Seer Council on the field for Lomors. And now a D-cannon. The kill chain with double knobs is incredibly powerful, but needs to support them with some more infantry, I think. Just get out some shooters or something, or commandos in tier 3 could do some great stuff. Mekboy taken down again. Blue team trying to get this contested VP. Oh, they stopped the cap there. Are you going to cap, fellas? Maybe. There we go. What are you shooting at? Oh, so Mekboy. Level 4 still has that Death Gun double Nob squad on the field now. Ouch. Really nice grenade by these Dire Avengers over here. Level 4 now. Almost wiped out those Stormtroopers and killed a bunch of Khatrin too. 312, 190. There is the D-cannon. Super long range artillery for Eldar. Well, I guess it's not as long range as a Manticore, but for a setup team, it's pretty crazy. Talk about long range disruption from the Singularity. Bolt Pistol getting a kill. Fully upgraded Guardsmen with plasma guns and Commissar and Sergeants. Nice little push then from Cornholio, keeping BK on this side and not pushing through the mid against the VP. In fact, red team able to get the VP decapped here thanks to that Sorcerer, level 4. Baneblade on the way for Sage. Where's those Nob squads? They're both on the west side to try and get this contested VP back, and that is a scary sight. 2 Nob squads and a Seer Council running at you. Vanguard veterans got their work cut out in that melee fight. There's also a Warlock in there for good measure. Vanguard veterans are going to wipe out, in fact. Trying to get off their merciless strike. Oh, they get away. 5 hit points. The jump saving them. Terminator Force Commander in melee with a Nob squad teleports away. They need some more suppression on this side, I feel like. They have none right now. I guess the Khatrin can knock back. Baneblade on the field against 2 Nob squads. Maybe not the best choice. Khatrin would have been great, as well as some heavy weapon squads to support them. It's so tempting though, isn't it? I'm tier 3. I've got the resources for a Baneblade. I'm going to get one. Lehman Russ now on the way for BK. Some more Guardsmen on the way for Sage to help support this Baneblade with repairs. Pretty vital. Great unclean one on the way for Cornholio. Been under a lot of pressure on the east side, but he hasn't dropped a unit as far as I've seen. Has preserved well. Whirlwind still around. That could be vital going forward to stop caps and also disrupt these guys who get caught in an orbital. Baneblade taking shots. They are in retreat, so the damage from these beams will be lowered, and they should survive just fine. Yep. Got a model though, and did a bunch of damage too. Now they can get forward and maybe get on this. There's a Bright Lance, there's Wraithguard, and the D-Cannon. D-Cannons can stop a cap, and they will stop a cap from anything. They will chuck around Terminators and stuff too. Can the blue team get this back before the Nob squads come back onto the field? Where are the Seer Council? On the prowl. Cornholio now pushing it against BK with a nice varied army. Here come Havocs to set up. Might be the end of that Chimera. Double auto cannons on it. Oh, now they're firing at the Sentinel. That was the Basilisk Flare. That's why. Nicely timed to save his Chimera there, BK. Or is it saved? Because these are Melter Gun Raptors too. Sorcerer just teleporting behind it to try and mess up its pathing, and down it goes. He did chase it down. Nice recovery on that side by Cornholio. Now has a great unclean one too. 231, 188. BK, whoa, getting a Baneblade because the one in the middle's gone down already. Completely missed it. Completely missed it. What the hell happened? It might have been an Eldritch from Lomors, but he still has tons of red, so I guess not. Sorry about that, guys. Missed the Baneblade going down. BK's is now hitting the field. I can't even see the remains of it, so it must have been crushed or something. 207, 188. Red team in the ascendancy here, it feels like. Panzer Battalion does have a Land Raider Redeemer, though, which will make a massive difference on the west side contested. Vanguard veterans have done so well. They're still only level 1 though. Vanguard veterans trying to tie up the Wraithguard using And They Shall Know No Fear, which is why they knocked back the Warlock there. Gives them some nice defensive buffs and allows them to knock back on melee attacks with a 50% chance. 167, 188, double cap now for red. Got blue team get the west side back. They also need to get their natural back. That was a bunch of dead orcs. Baneblade of BK doing some work. There's that great unclean one. Inquisitor getting her excruciators to help stop the march of the Nob squads, I guess. She has no energy to use it right now, though. Coming over, says Cornholio. Hopefully he brings the great unclean one. Here he comes. Let that guy go. Raptors are what? Level 3 with those melters. They're going to do some serious work. There's an Eldritch. Spotted, I think, in time. Oh, it still gets stunned. Now it's going to go down, surely. There's a Bright Lance there. There's a Wraithguard. There's a D-Cannon there. Trying to save the... And they can't save it. The Great and Clean one got in there. I think it was teleported or something. Or I just missed it walking in. It's hard to miss that guy, but I do miss things. I think the Sorcerer got in and then walked the Great and Clean one to him. Helped take out that Land Raider. Blue team are reeling here. 151, 171. VPs are very close though. One good nuke can really swing this. Still don't know what the hell happened to Sage's Baneblade. Must have been stopped by something. Not sure. They don't really have anything over there that could have stunned it or slowed it down apart from the Eldritch, unless he double Eldritch did. Level 3 Havocs looking after the power. Great and Clean one has barely taken a scratch. Now you have double knobs, a Great and Clean one, and a Seer Council bearing down on you. Here's the Baneblade of BK. The Whirlwind is still there. What level are you, Mr. Whirlwind? You're level 3. Level 4 Sentinel. Look at this guy. That Baneblade is doomed, though, surely. Maybe it was the Melter Raptors who Melter bombed it over it. The first Baneblade. 127 to 171. Commissar with the Emperor's Wrath. Wrath could do some serious damage to this little group of stuff over here. But it's tossed aside by the foul snare, and it's all kicking off now on this west side. Big fight. This could be the defining battle of this game. Double knob squads on the Baneblade. Down goes the Lehman Rush. Didn't last long. I think it was the Bright Lance getting a last hit there. Great and clean one now moving in. Baneblade's health flying down. And Nob's barely being scratched too. Plasma guns now coming into play, and these guys are being suppressed by the Baneblade's heavy bolters too. Needs to keep moving though. Frenzy goes off. Demolisher cannon. But these guys are still chasing. It needed to keep moving there. Nob squad down to just 2 models. But it lives, the Baneblade. Double cap now for red. That's another D cannon, is it? Yes, it is, for Lomors. Another webway goes down. That's like 4 of them, I think. They've been pretty diligent looking for those things. That's a rocket run. It'd be nasty if it catches the second. I guess they're 2 level 4 Dire Avengers are going to be hard to whack with a nuke. Red team, though, retain the west side after that pretty titanic clash. Sorcerer now looking for a triple. Look at this. There it is. Down to 27 VPs, and it's going to go down fast. Cornholio and Lomors able to stay so strong throughout the game. Kill chain recovering with the double knobs, which is always going to be a massive pain in the arse. And there's the victory for red. There it is. They could just, they couldn't deal with double knobs and Seer Council and a Great and Clean one. You can't really blame them, but that first Baneblade loss from Sage was rough, and I don't think BK should have got another one. Better tools, I think, for him to use against what the red team had popping. The level 6 Sorcerer with lots of crap to annoy you. We had a Mekboy, level 7, had Mega Rumbler and super tough beam. Warlock I cannot get a hold of. He must be inside something. Where the hell are you, Mr. Warlock? Who knows? Level 4 Inquisitor with Excruciators, Rosarius, and that Holy Brazier, and a level 3 Commissar. Didn't see him fire this thing off. He must have done it. Carapace, and that Power Sword. Such a strong start from BK. Maybe should have gone mid a little bit earlier. But they have it. Entertaining 3v3. Pretty close at the end. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.